Hello everyone, it's Time Travel Reviews here. Now, today I'm going to talk about the Muppets, and I actually saw this about 2 weeks ago, I think, but I haven't been bothered to make a review yet. I actually did make a review, but I didn't like it. Anyway, I didn't like the review. So the Muppets, I thought it was good. And I'm not exactly a Muppet fan, but I did kind of grow up with the Muppets with like I had like these Muppet games, and I've watched Muppets from Space and the original Muppet movie when I was a kid. But it was like good to see some of the Muppets. Like I like seeing Bobo again, and this has like most of the Muppets in it. This movie is mainly geared towards Muppet fans, and I think that's pretty obvious from the name of the movie. But it's the kind of thing that I think that everyone can enjoy, and not just kids, and not just adults either. Like another kids movie that I'll be talking about, kids movie. Anyway, um, what did I think? Okay, I think the songs were good, and they were kind of tongue in cheek, but they weren't like rubbing it in that they were tongue in cheek. They just kind of knew that you were gonna laugh at it, but they did it anyway. That kind of thing. So I mean, the songs were good in the way like they sing and everything. Um, and it pokes fun at a lot of like cliches, and it makes a whole lot of fourth wall jokes, which they're pretty funny. That all that kind of stuff I really like. So that's good, and and the plot is kind of basic, but they do a lot with it. The villain is very good. He's very over the top. He does like something. I'm not gonna say what it is. That I find just kind of beating the dead horse when it comes to over the top, like kind of over the top parody on villain kind of things. Um, so that's a bit disappointing, but it doesn't matter. He's like really good. Like he's like he just really just doesn't want the Muppets to get what they want, and he does like everything he can to do it, and it's good. It's funny seeing him do this kind of thing. Um, and there are a lot of funny moments. The ending, I reckon the ending is good. It's just kind of, I'd say like I mean those kind of endings where they have like a big speech. Um, it kind of worked in this movie, but not really. Um, it's the kind of thing where you can't incredibly laugh at it, but you can't incredibly feel emotional for it either. At least I couldn't. And there's some movies such as Babe Pig in the City, where you can either do one of those things, laugh hysterically or feel really really upset. But this movie just kind of like you can kind of do either of them, and that's a bit disappointing. And when you get into the credits, then there's something a bit stupid happens, so that's a bit disappointing as well. But oh well. So yeah, there are a lot of good jokes. There doesn't really seem like anything is really wasted, like in terms of like scenes, and it doesn't seem to really pander towards kids, but it doesn't really seem to pander towards adults or specifically Muppet fans either. It seems like everyone can enjoy this. Like if you even if you don't like musicals and movies, you can enjoy this as well. Because they poke fun at the musicals themselves a lot actually. um, so I mean, yeah. So I don't think this is as great as everybody says it is, because I just didn't find it wasn't like the kind of plot that I found like incredibly like um, jointed well. I probably said that wrong, but it's kind of a bit disjointed. Not that much, but it's like it's not something that I could really like get into and really feel emotional for, but it's not something I can hysterically laugh at either. It's just it's it has a lot of funny moments, but it's not something that's incredibly funny. And I think that's my problem when it comes to comedy in movies. I just don't find comedy is just particularly that interesting unless they make me laugh a lot, or unless they have some other aspect. And this movie kind of didn't really have that. It felt like the first half was mainly a I don't know, get the band back together thing, nostalgia fest, and it works well for what it is. And the second half is more or less just a Muppet show, and they have like oh, they have a cameo by someone. I'm not going to spoil who it is, and they kind of work well, but they kind of don't at the same time. So, and I don't think it has like a ton of celebrity cameos actually. And personally, I'm not really a fan of that. I think that I know that's kind of like a Muppet thing to have celebrity cameos, but I think that this should be just a movie solely about the Muppets and that's it. Because I feel like when you have this many cameos, it feels kind of very like it doesn't feel like the Muppets are doing this themselves. It feels like cameos are stepping in to do it themselves, and it doesn't incredibly like parody that either. Like parody that cameos, really help a movie. It doesn't really say, oh, why are you here? Oh, I'm here because it makes the movie popular or anything like that. And it does parody some things, but it doesn't parody absolutely everything. And so yeah, but I mean, generally, I like this movie, and I would recommend it to pretty much everyone. I mean, this movie, as I said, is not great. It's not as great as everyone says it is, but it's a kind of movie that, even though it isn't that great, people will still like anyway. So that's why I think that especially if you're a Muppet fan, go watch this movie. This movie is mainly for you. Um, if you're not a Muppet fan, you might still like it. So, and that's really all I have to say. And I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10.